Hey folks, good day. Today I'm going to go back and redo this painting that I did a couple weeks ago. Not happy with the composition. It was supposed to be a ring of fire, and the gold paint just kind of spread out in the white. And although I like some of the effects, it's just really not what I was going for. So I'm going to pour over the top of this painting. But before I do that, there's some visual effects I want to get on a still, because I'm going to use them in some graphic digital projects that I'm working on. And there are some little shapes in here that would work really good in some of my projects, my digital arts projects. So I'm just going to go and get a few snapshots. So I know what I'm looking for. I kind of really like the lacing effect over here, but for just that little spot, it's not worth keeping. So I'm going to do a pour over the top of it after I find this one image that I've seen before. Some of these little images inside the paint, the way it blends and gravitizes, create other images in there. They're kind of usable for other projects. Okay. So I'm done with that. I'm going to mix up some paint. What I plan on doing is a black and white mixture with rainbow colors swiping through it. The black and white will be like a ring pour, and I'm going to do the ring pour in a couple of places. And the rainbow colors, I'm going to swipe with a tool through it. So it'll be like a burst of color in monotone colors. Okay, let's get started. My black, I'm going to mix with a little bit of blue. And I'm going to be using Mars Black, and I have to get a couple cups. I never come prepared. Never come prepared. I could go for a cup of coffee too. I like to recycle cups They clean up real nicely. Just a squirt of rubbing alcohol inside these plastic cups, and I can reuse them. You can save food containers, you know, if you have a place to store them, and reuse them too, instead of putting them in the landfill. Bear with me a second, I'll be right back. I'm just wiping out these cups here and preparing them for the paint. And I don't think I'm going to go with the snow white paint. I think I'm going to use an antique white. So I'm going to have to mix some browns and yellows in it to kind of give it that antique white tone. See, I'm just wiping out this cup and making sure it's clean and all the oils are out of it. I might as well do the same to this painting because I remember I used some hair serum in the red or one of the colors, and I don't want to have an oily residue on this painting, and I'm just going to go over it with a real light mist of alcohol and wipe it off quickly. I'm not going to sand the piece, but this will kind of clean up any silicone oil that's on there, fingerprint oil. And the alcohol kind of makes the paint a little sticky again, because actually alcohol breaks it down. So I'm going to let that dry while I'm mixing my paint. And I've got some Mars Black by Saks. This is True Flow, heavy-bodied acrylic. It's a really good student paint. I don't think it's really archivable, but I don't plan on some of these paintings going in a gallery other than my own gallery. I'm just a poor girl having fun with paint. Nothing more. I don't expect anything out of it. I just like to have fun. And painting is fun for me. Okay, now the white. I'm going to grab the white. My paint was getting dusty. I haven't painted for a while, so I have to wipe off these containers. I was going through my shop and dusting, and when you have a hobby that consists of a lot of different things, you know, a lot of diversity. I mean, I have anything from rock collecting, jewelry making, painting, resin work. You have a lot of supplies, and sometimes it takes an entire day to go through and dust, you know, and on top of the computer and all the other equipment, it can take a day to go through and dust all this. So here I go. This is Saks brand again. And this is titanium white. And I always wipe the top of the bottle off. All right, let me get it in cam here. See that? I wipe that off so that when I open the cap next time, I don't have little hard chunks falling in the paint that I'm going to use for my projects. So there I have some white and some black, titanium white and Mars black. And I'm going to put a little bit of brown, a little bit of yellow into this white. So it's like a antique white. And I'm not going to put a lot. I'm just going to put a little drop. And this is Amsterdam paint. It's okay to mix them. It's not going to hurt anything. And I only want a very little bit. Because I can always add more. Okay, now I'm going to get some brown. And I'm going to use burnt umber. If I have any left. I have a lot of paint that I bought even from 2018. And it's still good. It doesn't smell. And it's still fairly wet and decent. So just another drop, very little bit. Shake it down. I remember when I was painting my house, I had a guy help me. He was actually from Wales. And he was a professional house painter. He's a friend of mine. And he told me that paint spoils. Because I bought a couple of 5-gallon pails of paint to do my house. And when I opened them, he says, "Oh, this paint's spoiled." To me, paint doesn't spoil. I know it can get a bad smell. It can smell like rotten eggs. I would say that would be spoiled if it smelled like rotten eggs. I'm also going to put a little bit of blue in this Mars black just to make it more of a cold black instead of a warm black. And I'm going to get a little bit of cyan, maybe cobalt. Let me see. This is semi-transparent. This is cyan. Just going to put a little bit of that in with my black. 3 drops, 3 goobers. There we go. And again, you want to wipe. Let me show you. You want to wipe the top of your tube off so that, again, when you open it next time, those chunks that dry on the top don't fall in your project, in the paint that you're going to use for your project. So there we go. I'm going to mix a little bit of Floetrol in here. Floetrol, you can go up to about 3 times your amount of paint. And I've got the American Floetrol. There's a Floetrol that comes out of the UK too. And I've got the American version. And both of the Floetrols are available in the US. Because of the shortages and the shipping problem, 3 months ago, I went and stocked up on Floetrol because it's something I use a lot. And now I have so much Floetrol. Wait, I think I'm going to screen this just in case I get a Floetrol snot. Okay. It's just dripping off. A Floetrol snot is a film that happens in Floetrol, and I don't know why. It could be because of the heat, the cold. They say it happens more when it's warm out. You can see that there are some spots in there, thick spots. All right. You see the thicker stuff in there? Sometimes that don't mix in. And when you pour it out on your project, you have real thick things on your canvas that you don't always see until it's dry. Because you know the paint shrinks as it dries. Well, those lumps that are in Floetrol don't shrink. I'm just going to wipe off my screen. I don't have my bucket of water with me today. Normally I have a bucket of water, I just throw this screen in, but that's okay. I'm just going to spray it with alcohol and leave it sit on the side until I can go wash it. That's what we do. All right. Now I'm going to mix those, and I'm going to add a little bit of water. Just going to add it right away because I know I'll use at least this much. I don't usually recommend pouring your water in there before it's mixed, but after you've been working with paint for a while, you can kind of get to know how it behaves. That was not a very good beginner tip for you, so I just take shortcuts. Now I'm going to stir. And you want to get this incorporated very well. I can already tell it's still too thick. My paints that I mixed yesterday are on the thinner side. I'm going to work with a thinner consistency today. So my idea is to make 2 black and white ring pours, wreck them, and then swipe through them with color, just to see what it looks like, just out of curiosity. So this is an experiment. I see some other artists out there doing it. Molly's artistry has been a big influence. So this is not my original invention. I love people in the art community. They kind of inspire each other and with positive things, positive comments. Bye. Have a nice day.
You too. Don't forget about that.
I know. Shouldn't put so many rocks in your pockets. I have to sew my husband's pockets. He's been out rock hounding. Woman's work is never done. Or should I say there's no rest for the wicked? Probably the latter, huh? Okay, so when I'm pouring this and the paint is falling back in the cup, it's leaving a mound. You see that? I don't want that. I want my paint a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Little bits at a time. That mound is called trace. And you use the word trace a lot when you're making soap too. Because trace is a very, very important consistency when you're cooking or making soap or doing art. You'll hear the word trace quite often, and it refers to a consistency, a velocity of a liquid. All right, let's see what we got now. Not as much. Still have a little bit of mound. Very, very light trace. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Because the consistency of these paints that I already have mixed up, the colored paints, they don't have that mound. So I want the same consistency in my paint. Now I just taught you guys something very important about painting. Consistency is everything. Still got a little bit of a trace going. Sometimes it takes a little fiddling around here. And I don't want it too thin. Because if you go over 30% water, you break down the pigments in your paint. It ruins the binders in the paint. Because they're water soluble. To get your paint right, it involves a lot of stirring. Stirring is part of the process of art. Mixing, and it's like an alchemy, just like being an alchemist. There we go. All right, now watch how it flows off the stick. In a nice, even string for a very long time without breaking. There's no trace. And there's no divot. If there's a divot, then my paint is too thin. Okay, now let's do the black. me get some paper towel here. Wipe off my stick. I like this stick because I made it flat. It scrapes the bottom of the cup real nice, gets in the corners compared to round sticks. Alrighty. Now remember, I put a little bit of blue in with this black to make it a cold black instead of a warm black. Mars black is a warm black. Those are colors that have warm in them, like reds. Reds are warm. Some reds are cold, but some reds are warm. It just depends what color pigments they put in it. My fingers have cramps. Arthritis. You got to be tough to get old, I'm telling you. You got to be real tough to get old. And this white that's left on my cup here, there is not paint, that's Floetrol. So I'm not worried about it not being mixed in. It's not paint. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this because black is very hard to get on film. But it is tracing very heavy. So we're going to put water in there, mix it in. And I don't think I'm going to even bother trying to show you what that's like because black is very hard to film. But you got a good image of it with the white paint for the consistency that I'm going for. Normally, ring pours you want with very thick paint. So the rings don't mesh together as well and move as much. But today I'm going for a little bit of a different look on my composition. So I'm going with a little bit thinner paint. I might blow some of it out. And that's the reason why I'm going for a thinner consistency. Still too thick. Put a little bit more water in. And this is water in this jug. It's not alcohol. I just reuse the bottles, especially this one because it's easy to handle compared to a gallon of distilled water. And I do buy distilled water for my paints. If I'm out, I will use well water. Never used rainwater. I wonder what that would be like. I'll have to try that sometime. Because I know the pH is much different. Just a little bit more water. And then we're ready to pour. The most exciting part is the pour. How thrilling, huh, to sit here and watch somebody stir paint. I know that gets really boring. Especially if you're the type of person that needs a lot of excitement. You wouldn't be able to stand this. I know. I'm just putting a little bit more water in because I want my paint. I want this black paint to be the same consistency as the white. You'll notice there's a different consistency to every color of paint. You know, it depends on the pigments and the binders that they had to add to that color. You know, even if they're all heavy-bodied paint, there's still a different type of consistency to every color. Some paints are heavier than others. All right. I think I'm there. I'm there. Now, one of the things you're going to notice, and I know this ahead of time, is my white and black are going to mesh together in places. I'm not going to use any silicone or anything like that. There might be silicone in maybe a very, very small amount in the red that I'm going to be using, but it's not a lot. Oh, we were going to put some gold in there too. So I need to mix up this gold. I almost forgot about the gold. And we all need gold. Oh, I love this paint. That's 24 karat gold. It's beautiful. It shimmers. I love it. So we're only going to use a little bit of that. Let me get a cup. I might use the gold just for swiping. I do love gold. You can see I try to do other things with gold, but this painting didn't turn out. It didn't turn out at all. Not even near what I imagined. So, and you can see how the gold kind of meshed in with the white, and that isn't what I was going for. Look at this beautiful gold paint. This is 24 karat gold by Deco Art. It's very thick, really thick. And we're going to thin it down. Wow, it's just really thick. Just keeps flowing there. I'm not going to need a lot of it. And I'm going to put a little bit of Floetrol in there. What I'm going to do is dip my tool in there and swipe through the colored part. The Floetrol makes the gold dull, but it'll shine up again when it's dry. Floetrol dries clear. I know that when it's wet, it's milky looking and it makes your paint appear thinner. It's not good if you use Floetrol while you're trying to mix your colors to achieve a certain other color. You should mix your colors before you add Floetrol, because Floetrol is going to throw you off with its milkiness. Just going to add a little bit of water in there. We're going to put some paper down. That looks good. I'll keep it like that. Okay, now I'm going to get a cup to pour. I'm going to mix my black and my white into 1 cup and then pour it out. I'm going to mix all my colors into 1 cup and pour them out. No, I'm not. I'm going to just pour those on the board and swipe them. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Good Q&A for myself. All right, I'm going to get some freezer paper. Yeah. Put that down. This is just Reynolds freezer paper, kitchen paper. You can use parchment paper. Aluminum foil, the paint kind of sticks to, but it'll work. I like to lay down a sheet just a little bit bigger than my painting and fold up the edges. So in case the paint decides to make a run for it, it kind of stays, the fold kind of stays, keeps the paint on the paper. All right, I'm going to move my jugs and my bottles here. That sounded funny. Okay. Gonna get everything out of my way so my paper fits on the table. Still have a box of rocks here. I have my torch handy. I got a new torch for the projects. Yes. I've been using my torch for cooking too. You know, blackening chicken and stuff like that works good. Tastes good. Caramelizing stuff. Okay. I still have the bottom of this taped off. You can see here. And this would have been an example of the paint that would have got on the bottom before I taped it off. That's why I tape it off. I'm going to leave this tape on until I've got this piece all done and resined. You get square with the world here. So right there, but it's not square with me. So I think I've got to kind of turn my camera a little bit. If I can get it turned, kind of mounted down there. All right, now what I'm going to do is just fold up the edges of this paper, and that'll get that curl out of it, and kind of just make a ridge to hold any paint in case paint wants to run away. Which I don't think it's going to, but I am going to pour a lot of paint. I'm going to waste a lot of it. And actually, it's not wasted. I should do my next live stream on making other art with these paint skins. You can make a variety of things. You can cover canisters, you can make jewelry, and you can do other paintings by peeling the paint off of this paper. You use the shiny side up, and you can utilize those paint skins. A lot of other artists you'll see use puppy pea pads to catch their paint. And I don't think you can salvage the paint skins after they're on a puppy pea pad. Maybe if you cut them apart, I'm not sure if they do it. I don't think they're interested in saving the paint that falls off, but I make things with mine. So I'm going to grab another cup, and we're going to let the fun begin. Here's one I can use. A little bit of dust in here. This is why I'm trying to use up some of the stuff, because it's getting dusty. I just put a spray of alcohol in here here we are. Yeah, the light don't have the camera. I just put a spray of alcohol in this container. In case there's any oils or anything in there I don't want mixed in with my paint. And just work my way around there. There's a little bit of dust in there. I have a high school girl that comes in, makes a few bucks, and helps me dust my art room once in a while. But she was busy this last weekend with homework, and I don't want it to interfere with her homework, but she will come and help me clean sometimes when she's not busy. But her schoolwork's got to come first. All right. There's my cup. Now, I'm going to take my stick out of here. And wipe that off so I can use that again. I really like that flat edge on there. It really helps stir your paint compared to a round stick. All right. It has more surface value. I'm nervous. I always get nervous before I pour. All right, how come that corner is real washed out? Just adjust my light. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with the white. Whatever goes in the cup first comes out last. So I'm just going to alternate white and black. And I can see they're already kind of blending. me try and get under the cam a little bit more so you can see this too. So you can see right down there in my cup. A little more white. And I'm going to pour slower. So hopefully I don't mix the colors too bad. There we got on top. See, if I flow it harder, it will fall to the bottom. The black feels a little heavier, but it floats better. Another way I can fill this cup is holding it on an angle and just letting it run down the side of the cup. Nice and gentle. Now I'm going to go to the other side. And because I did that, look at what I've got on the sides of the cup going on. Look at that. That looks chaotic. Okay. I'm going to get some more paper towel ready. I'm going to get a drink. Got some ice water. I have a habit of chewing on ice, and the dentist told me, don't do that. Everybody tells me, don't do that. But I forget because it's a habit. Okay, now, what I don't like is this edge up here that's being washed out by the light. I suppose that'll go away so you can't see that edge on cam. Let's see. Hey, there. There we go. But now the light will probably show in the paint. I can never win. I just can't win. All right, I think I'm going to put on some music and relax before I pour this. I always get nervous before I pour paint. I don't know why. It's supposed to be relaxing, but it's the anxiety of the excitement. It's a good kind of nervousness, the anxiety of the excitement. I'm just basking in the moment, actually, enjoying the head rush, the burst of adrenaline. The burst of adrenaline. What should we listen to? Handpan music? I should pour acrylics over some of my pumpkins. That might be a cool idea. I should go grab a vase and pour the paint over the top of the vase while I'm doing this. Kill two birds, one stone. Okay, we need some handpan music. Or how about some wind chimes? Let's go find handpan. I like Hang Massive. Those guys are just freaking awesome. Here's one of my favorite ones. Positive energy, good vibes. Yes. Turn it down a little bit. I have my monitor sitting on top of my woofer, and there's all kinds of little rocks and crystals sitting on the platform of my monitor. And this morning I had a horrible vibration from all that stuff because it played some real bassy documentary music, forensic documentary music from og.co, and that sounded horrible. So here I go. I'm going to pour it now, and I plan on pouring over here a spot, over here a spot, and I'm just going to take the hump off of this drip. Oh wait, I forgot what. Oh, look at the beauty inside there. Look at all those little spots. And I didn't use any silicone or hair serum or anything. That's from the Floetrol. So this is going to be an interesting. I think I'm going to. I forgot one thing. I'm going to put some tacks, some large tacks in the corners. I need my slam banger. Here it is. There, if I have to level it too, I can use these tacks to level my piece or stick a stick underneath it or something. You can kind of tell if they're even by the distance between the canvas and the tack. Kind of get a good eyeball at it. This one went down too low. I can tell that already. There. So let's try this. There. Now that it brought my canvas up so high, I gotta readjust. There, you can't see my side anymore. About an inch. All right. Here we go. Let's pour. Ready? Finally. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go around in small circular motions to make a ring. I think I want more white in there. I should have made more white. I think all the white sunk to the bottom of the cup because titanium dioxide in the white is heavy. So I just poured a little bit more in here to see what we can get. Maybe I'll travel this ring a little bit. Yeah, there's some more white coming out now. Get some torch going here. Get the bubbles out. torch it again. Give it some tilts. Now I'm going to bring the paint back to the center. And bring it down towards me a little bit. Go off in this direction. And I see a chunk in my paint already. And that's what I'm talking about. Making sure that your paint bottles are wiped off well before you start mixing your paint. I've got a thing in my paint right there, and that's going to start making the design change, which I'm going to wreck it anyways, but I still want that thing out of there. I don't know what that was, probably a chunk of dry paint. Okay, now I'm going to bring the paint back to the center. Turn my board. And then now I'm going to tilt towards the other edge. And I knew that was going to happen. My tack came out. So we got a problem, Houston. Usually when you got to loosen up those tacks, they fall out. So I'm going to try and get that tack back in. And I know this ain't going to end well. I've got a crippled canvas. All right, stay. I'm going to have to pick it up and tilt it. You run into all kinds of crazy stuff when you're pouring paint. A lot of drama, just like tacks falling out. All right, now I'm going to come back towards the center again and get that other edge. Paint is moving slower. It's thicker than I wanted it to be. All right, now I'm going to go for that last corner there. Just let it fall over the edge nicely. There we go. Now, I've got something that kind of looks like a nice rock. And let me wipe the paint off my hands. And we're going to wreck it now. We're going to wreck these rings. Or do you think I shouldn't? What do you think I should do? Wreck it or not? Wreck it means like putting a skewer through it and going in different directions. I don't think I'm going to wreck it. But I'm going to torch it again. Pop any air bubbles that are in there. I think I'm going to start adding the color down now. And I'm thinking I'm going to add the color in here and swipe through here, maybe like this, and come off this corner down here by me. This is kind of a little neat design in there. Kind of looks like wings, maybe some kind of little flower. I think I'm going to put the colors here and swipe this way, opposite of the direction that these rings are flowing. I'm going to come up, go through here, and right off the canvas over here. Yep, let's do it. Okay, first we're going to go with a little red. Now this paint is very runny. That's what I was trying to achieve, was a very thin paint. All right, you can see it makes a little divot when I pour it back on to the surface. Okay, so we've got that one. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of orange. This is or actually bright red. I think this was orange and red mixed together. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of lighter orange. Now we're going to come in with yellow. Yellow feels a little bit thicker. Now we'll come in with some blue. Purplish blue. Maybe a little bit more. And now we're going to come in with some purple, red, violet, whatever. Yeah. This is a pretty color. Very pretty color. Maybe a little bit more right on this corner. There we go. Now we're going to swipe it with gold. I'm going to use a napkin to swipe with, and I want it about the same width. Okay. So I'm folding the edge of it in half, and I'm going to dunk this napkin into the gold paint. And as I swipe, it's going to run off. Okay. Moving a lot of paint. There we go. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. I was hoping it would kind of have an organic look to it. Okay, let's get the torch. I kind of like that effect. Well, it's different. Very different. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. I like how the gold created a little bit of shimmer in through most of this design. I think I like the composition. I think I'm gonna leave it, not touch it, and just let it dry. I'm sure the paint will move for some time while it's wet. It's still pretty thick on here. But I need to leave it alone now. And it's hard. You still, think that, oh, maybe I could do this, or maybe I could just do that and there, and then you wind up not liking the whole thing. So we're gonna leave it. I'm just going to hit it with the torch one more time here and see if I can bring up any yellow spots from the bottom. I like how the orange veins run through here. I was able to salvage that flower looking thing down there. Okay, so that's it. I'm just a poor girl and I enjoy it. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. If you want more art videos, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to tick the bell to find out next time I go live. Don't be surprised if you might find some drama on my channel. This is a variety channel of a lot of different things. So you guys take care. Have a great day. Much peace, love, and respect.